Today, we are going to go for an exploration journey to the northwest side of Singapore. So now that we have gone onto the expressway on the Pan Island Expressway in Singapore, we're going to head towards Lim Chu Kang. So Lim Chu Kang is actually a place where most Singaporeans or most people will know it as a place where there's acres and acres of graves. It has a Muslim cemetery, it has a Christian cemetery, it also has a Chinese cemetery there. However, what is not known to a lot of Singaporeans is that actually Lim Chu Kang actually houses this beach called Sarimbun Beach, and this Sarimbun Beach has a very deep history that dates back to World War II. Apparently, the Japanese troops, when they invaded Singapore, they first set foot on Singapore by beach landing on Sarimbun Beach, and there was a very fierce battle that occurred there by the Allied troops. So today we're going to go there to check it out and do some exploration. Well, we'll be exiting the highway soon, out onto exit 36, which is Jalan Bahar. So we'll exit out and then we'll continue our way down to Lim Chu Kang Road. So now we are going to enter into Lim Chu Kang Road from Jalan Bahar, and you'll realize that the road actually opens up into a wider kind of setting. This is actually because this Lim Chu Kang Road can actually be used as an impromptu runway for our military planes to take off and land during emergency times. So have a look. Okay, so now right here we are in the middle of Lim Chu Kang Road, and you can see it's actually a very wide road. It's one of the widest roads in Singapore. It does not have any central barriers or fences. This is because this acts as an impromptu airfield. So military planes will take off and land here during emergency times, war times. And you realize that there's actually a lot of lampposts along this stretch of road. These lampposts can be dismantled within 48 hours, and as you can see, there's a lot of windsock lying around, and it's kind of windy and wide, and there's no high-rise buildings. So this is a perfect impromptu landing spot that I want to intro to you guys about Lim Chu Kang Road. And now let's carry on our journey. After going past the runway stretch, the road narrows down into this very nice two-way single lane path, and you can see we are surrounded by trees, and there's so much greenery here that you'll be surprised that you are living in Singapore. So now we are going to go ahead and look for a dirt path that will actually lead us all the way straight down to Sarimbun Beach. So let's carry on the journey. Now, as you can see, now we have actually turned from Lim Chu Kang Road into this Batera track. This is actually a dirt path, rocky dirt gravel path all the way into the end, and that's where our destination is. It's actually a place called Sarimbun Beach, and that's actually where during World War II, the Japanese troops came from Malaysia, Johor, through the Straits of Malaysia into Singapore, and that's where they first landed. And as you can see, for urban setting in Singapore, urban country, you can see that this kind of track in Singapore is actually very rare, and we are happy and excited to be here. So now we will continue on and explore, and let's get on the car. Now, after we have reached the end of this dirt path, you can see that you start to have a paved road, and there are some buildings and amenities here. Just to give you a brief introduction, this is actually a Scouts camp. It's a Scouts campground for the Singapore Scouts, and the building over there that you see is actually the Ministry of Education Adventure Centre. It is for students to actually come here and go for outdoor activities and some outward bound programs. So you can see that from this angle, as we continue walking straight, you can see a pool of water. So that's the Straits of Johor, and there will be the beach, which is called Sarimbun Beach, and that is actually where Japanese first arrived, stepped foot in Singapore. I think there's an info board over there. We'll go and check it out. Then we'll go nearer to the beach and have a look. And as you can see, this board is quite informative. Basically, it's just telling you that on this mangrove line shoreline, Japanese forces launched their attack on Singapore. So it's protected by heavy artillery fire. Soldiers of the 5th and 18th Japanese divisions crossed the Johor Straits in a fleet of small boats on the night of 8th February 1942. So there was resistance. We actually do have the Australian 22nd Brigade. They belong to the Allied troops. However, after the second wave of Japanese troops, I think the third wave actually broke through the defenses, and we actually captured this beachfront and this part of Singapore. And Singapore being a multi-racial society, this notice board, this information is actually in 4 languages or 5 languages. There's English, there's Malay, Chinese, Indian, Tamil, and of course Japanese. I guess there might be some Japanese visitors coming here to visit a historic site. So we'll continue our way down and have a look at the beachfront. Very close to wildlife. You can hear a lot of birds chirping at the background. You can hear a lot of animal sounds. Basically because to my left is this direction. It's actually a forest, but it's out of bounds because it's being used by the military for training purposes. So we are not able to access it, but this is actually a forest. And as you can see towards the shoreline, you actually have stones and grass patches, probably artificial, being planted by men. I heard back in the days, probably 10-20 years ago, fishermen used to actually reverse their trucks all the way down to the coastline to collect the fishes that were actually fished up by the fishermen, and after that drive up all the way out. Back then I think I was just a kid, so it's I've heard people talking about it, but never really seen it for myself. So as you can see, as we near the shoreline, you can actually see a barricade. This is because this is actually the border of Singapore, heavily fenced up because it's the border. So I don't think we can access the beach all the way up front, but from here you can actually see the waterfront, the beachfront, and this is actually quite a rocky beach front. So, and I think from far you can see some houses on stilts in the middle of the water. In Singapore, we actually call it Kelong. It's actually a Malay word for houses on stilts. I'm not sure if you are able to see it through the fence because this fence might be distorting the picture, but we try to get a clearer view as we move closer. And you can see we come up to the gate, and I don't think it's a very clear view. Probably later I will go around this area and try to find a nice spot that we can actually zoom in on the Kelongs or the fishing village. And here you are, the border of Singapore. We are done here, and let's head back to the car to try to find a nice spot for us to show you what the Kelong looks like. And also after that, we'll go on all the way to the end of Lim Chu Kang Road. We'll head back out onto tarmac and go all the way to the end of Lim Chu Kang Road because I heard from my friends that there's a very nice wooden jetty there, and let's go and explore. Come. Now both me and Emily had an amazing time exploring this area, and we've seen a lot of wildlife. I'll try to capture them in the shots and show you guys towards the end of the video. Now we'll head on out of this dirt path, and then we'll go back to Lim Chu Kang Road, and we'll continue all the way down to the end of Lim Chu Kang Road, and I'm looking forward to see a jetty there. So let's go. Now, we have finally reached the end of the road to Lim Chu Kang, and you can see that there is a very old, nice wooden jetty heading out to the sea, and I guess this is a place that's interesting to explore. I think now it's low tide because during high tide the water will reach all the way up, so we can continue down. So now, after viewing and enjoying the jetty and the scenery at the jetty, we are heading back out via Lim Chu Kang Road, and it's starting to drizzle a bit, so I think it's better to get back into the car and head home. Later, as I continue out, I'm going to pass by the Lim Chu Kang Road, which is the wide makeshift runway, and I'm going to take a clearer shot of a cemetery, which we didn't really manage to take just now when we were coming in because the car was on the wrong side of the road. But now that we are going on our way out, we'll definitely add that footage in so you can have a look at what it's like. And like I say, this is actually the pilot episode of Jeep Journey series. So we have a Jeep Journal, and we also have a Jeep Journey. So the Jeep Journal is what we do, what modifications we do to my car and Emily's car, and the Jeep Journey is what me and Emily will go out to explore, and we'll film it down and we'll compile it and compress it into a video that you guys can enjoy. So in this pilot episode, I hope you enjoyed, and do subscribe, like and comment on the video if you all have any comments or questions on where this place is or how to go about getting here. I'll be happy to help. So I guess that's goodbye, and thank you very much for watching. Bye.